off of it. And as what we are asking is permission to go after this grant for 2 new backhoes. Currently we have a 1994 John Deere backhoe.
I think I started in 6th grade that year.
I'll tell you what, it's been around the block a little bit. It's a little wore out. And then,
that is the one that's...
that is, yes, ma'am, there are some pictures. And then also there, you'll see that with this grant, we're eligible for a $96,000 grant rebate just for this one backhoe. And then the other backhoe we have is a 2006 case backhoe, which is on the next page. And we are eligible for a $74,000 grant rebate. Totaling $170,000 rebate from the state, from TCEQ, which $90,438.24 would be what the city would pay for 2 brand new backhoes at $130,000 apiece. So,
Always appreciate you all keeping an eye on this stuff.
absolutely.
When will they let the grant?
Excuse me?
When will they let the grant? When do you know?
I don't have a time frame. So what happened last time, they've been opening this grant up in week-long spurts. So they'll open it a week, close it down for a month, and then open it up for a week. They're just taking a few applicants at the moment. And as what I did is I went to Marvin the day, I got an email at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, went to him at 7:30 in the morning, said, hey, can we at least submit our application to get in line? We're not obligated to do anything at this point, but at least we're in line. And when she did say yes, I immediately submitted. They did receive it, so at least we're in line for this round.
So if we just did the one tractor, the oldest one, we'd be out $38,000, something like that.
Roughly.
Times are tight.
I understand.
We can't afford to buy the one, we can't afford two.
So what's the timeline for this grant, receiving it?
They've been working pretty quick. They don't give a time frame. They usually run, I think with our previous grant, it took roughly 2 months to get notified of getting the grant and then starting the process.
So do you apply it separately?
Do what now?
Are they grouped together, or you apply?
What they are, it's one application, but they're different activities. So one backhoe is one activity, the other one is
So you
another
could
activity.
separate them?
Correct.
Okay. I'd say, go for it. See
What
what
about
we
the
get.
brand, Jeremy, you've got John Deere, but did you look at, Cat?
I have, yes, I have.
Do you have a preference then, or? do you
We
like the
prefer
one?
the John Deere. We've gotten a lot more quality out of them. It's obviously a better brand, we can get the parts a lot quicker. The service is faster. We've had a lot better luck with RDO John Deere as opposed to Case and Caterpillar.
So what happens with the old equipment? Do we auction it off?
We will have to destroy like we did the other ones. We cut holes in the side of the engine blocks and cut the frames, and then we scrap them or auction. So we would receive a little bit of money back on those.
Won't be a lot.
It won't be a
It'll be a
lot.
lot when you take out the frame and the block.
No.
And being one of these is for the street, if you did get both, one comes out of the general, one comes out of the water, so it would come out of the reserves if we,
Which one comes out of the water?
the water,
Case?
any one of the new ones.
I'd rather not come out of the water.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
And these grants right now, we call them once in a lifetime kind of grants, with this amount of money. So that's why we're really shooting for 2, and I understand that it has some budget.
I do agree with you, but I hear once in a lifetime grants every year.
Yeah, these are with the TCEQ. These will go along with the Volkswagen, litigation.
Yeah, I remember about that.
This is leftover funds from that, they're just kind of branching it out.
So with this grant, if we apply for it, Are we obligated to take it?
No, we're not obligated to accept anything on it. It's just that I went ahead and sent the application just to get in line and, see if we can get qualified for it.
And all y'all are doing is ratifying the fact that we already submitted it.
We're giving forgiveness, not permission.
And you said that
If we do
money
get
will
it,
come out of reserve?
I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
are the funds available to pay for it if we do get it?
He just said reserves.
All right, and what,
Reserves and water.
All the reserves or just part of the reserve?
Oh, it'd be reserves, because it's only, altogether won't be but 90,
Yeah.
45 out of each.
Oh, so general reserve and water.
Well, I'm not intending on doing anything with government capital or any loan structure on this at all.
So, I have to throw this out there, and I know y'all done your research, but equipment this big, like, other small towns have bought smaller equipment because of what it takes to get this equipment positioned and in place, and then the work and all of that. I mean, what kind of research did you do to know that that is the piece of equipment that you really need?
These are actually replacing the same exact size backhoes that we have now.
I think
There's
it's
no size.
much bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, there's no, it looks big, but it's a smaller backhoe, so it actually fits the city very well. It has, I believe, the 15, this one is a 15 depth, bucket, and then they go up to like 24 foot.
So what you have now meets your needs other than them being very old?
Correct.
Needing to be replaced for better emissions?
Yes,
Yeah, most all our lines are less than 15 foot.
yes.
Make a motion to allow Jeremy to send in the application for the Texas Emissions Reduction Program.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I make a motion that we forgive.
I mean, ultimately, if we say no, then we
No,
accept it.
I know.
Yeah,
And I
so,
actually appreciate you jumping on the chance instead of having to wait and then miss out.
Yes, ma'am.
we have
I'm
a,
under an obligation and
No, okay.
you don't really get
it's worth going after to see where they're at.
motion and a second to approve the application for the turf equipment replacement rebate grant through TCEQ for purchasing of the two new backhoes. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Item number 11, consider approval of ordinance number 1374-2023, amending Chapter 4 Business Regulations of the Code of Ordinances, City of River Oaks, Texas, by adding an Article 4.10, boarding homes, establishing inspection, registration, and permitting of boarding homes, and establishing enforcement authority, providing record-keeping requirements. I think the attorney's going to take this.
I think that's what I've been told in that.
We do have what's the word presented, if you want us to show that on the screen right now, their PowerPoint.
That is up to you. I'm not prepared to
Yeah.
follow that, but,
Let's just let Bradley.
They've all got a copy of it in their
okay,
packet.
well, they're good.
Yes.
Well, I think you've seen the summary that Elizabeth prepared. She did a really great job of helping to make that kind of simply understand, okay, this is what we're accomplishing through this ordinance. So, that being said, Chapter 260 of the Texas Health and Safety Code establishes this opportunity, right, to operate what they call a boarding home for the purpose of providing opportunities for elderly over 65 or persons who are disabled in accordance with the definition under federal law to reside in this place. And then it sets forth the opportunity then for cities to regulate those things. Another thing it does that's really important to understand, and part of the reason why this is in front of you, is it gives authority, so long as they're complying with city's regulations, to be located within residential zones within the city. You can see pretty simply how that might conflict a little better. How you might be concerned about the way the use for a boarding home could conflict with normal residential uses within the city. I think that's the reason why that's in front of you. And in general, what this